my favorite Miami chips. Hey guys, welcome to Rudy World, the channel with stuff and things. Today I have a lot on my mind for a nightmare I've been dealing with chips. Not these. Would be cooking with Rudy. This is actually all about Intel chips and the nightmare that followed. So with my bad sense of humor, grab your beer, grab your Coke, and here we go. So, after many, many years, behind me is my big nightmare. This thing's been down since about December. I've always enjoyed building my own computers. I've done this for the last 20-something years. Never have the stakes been that high. Usually, my total project is about $300. This time, the processor equaling about $1,000 and the motherboard around 700, 500 to 700. Stakes are high. So here's what happened. December, I bought one of these suckers. This thing is beautiful. It is the i9 core processor. This is the 1090 10980XE Extreme. 3 gigahertz, 24.75 megabytes cache, LGA 2066. I bought this from a company, and since the fact that we settled this out today, and I agreed not to mention their name in my deal, but however, I still want to put it out there to help you guys do stuff and things. This has been the problem with the way this usually goes. So, I bought this thing, and I didn't have a motherboard to test it on. I bought it from a reputable company who I bought many things from, and I always praise them, and I still think they're a great company. Something just happened to go horribly wrong. So, here's the problem. Newegg, I went out and I wanted, so these things are now considered, I guess, enthusiast boards. They used to be the standard of the mill motherboards. This thing still has a bunch of slots. I wanted to get two of them. One was the gigabit board, and the other one was an Asus as a backup. I played this stupid game, and the one company I will call out by name on here is Newegg. Newegg used to be a fantastic company. I bought a lot of my stuff from there, and it's not the company with the CPU, but Newegg has done this, and they just did this again with my Alienware laptop when I was looking for parts. I highly, highly recommend against purchasing anything that is not shipped directly out of Newegg. Newegg has kind of become like the eBay of the PC world. So what they do is I would look at this motherboard. I'll show you the other one here as well. I'd go look at the board. Board be priced, something in China. The company would place my order, process it through Newegg. Everything was good. A couple of days or a couple of weeks would go by, and all of a sudden the order would be mysteriously canceled. We can't find it, excuses, to we don't know where it is. The company will come back with a different name and it's like the higher price. So I played this stupid game for about a couple of months. Now remember, this thing is sitting here on my floor from another trustworthy company who I thought that this thing was awesome. Get my board in, and the gigabit board starts clicking. I was like, what the heck? Power supply starts clicking. I put in the Asus board, which has the 2X299 series, has some issues with this. There's a reader out here on the bottom. These boards actually are really, really nice. They have a power button and a reset button. And down here they have a readout instead of the beep codes. I can zoom in on that a little bit. And it kept saying 00. The manual said it was not used, but I was at a stop. So when I install it, between the 00 code and the clicking, I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on with my stuff? What's going on? So I contacted the company who I bought the CPU from. You're way past the 30 days to exchange this. I'm like, okay. Wasn't happy with this. I received some really subpar standard service. I was the offered service that said I was sent to the computer expert, and the computer expert told me that I could take the CPU and get it serviced somewhere. I'm not sure if you guys know anybody that does like microsurgery on a CPU. I personally don't know one. If you do, please write that in the comments below. So the other option was he told me I could sell it on eBay. I was like, yeah, I want to sell defective parts just like the ones you sold me on eBay. This will make my account go away quickly. So I argued, and I got a huge discount from the manager. He cut off about 40% off another used CPU just like the one I had. I put it in, and immediately it does the same exact thing what the first one did. I'm at a loss. I take the first set, and I look at it, and I type in all the numbers, and I'll show you how all this is done so you guys don't have to do this on your own. And for some reason, everything goes through. The lot number's right, serial number's right, everything goes through. I send the stuff in, and I also send away the gigabit board to get repaired. All of a sudden, I kind of forgot about the CPU from Intel, and I got an email that said, hey, we're going to close out your RMA. We have not received your product. I said, I certainly sent this thing in. I don't understand what's going on. So I called them every day. I was like, hey, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? I called UPS. They delivered it. They had proof of the person who signed for it. No problem. This was good. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. A couple of days of didn't tell me not to find it. All of a sudden, it showed up. And I get a letter that reads something like this. Let me read this word for word here. Hello, Rudolph. Greetings from Intel support. We would like to inform you that we received your package with the product-related order number 05853344. Unfortunately, the product received was found altered and will need to be confiscated due to security policies. Due to this, we won't be able to provide you with a replacement for this specific unit. Attached, you'll find a letter with more details. Now it was time to contact the company. And it was also time for me to start bugging Intel. I said, look, I have one more of these processors that was bought later on at a discount price. What's going to happen here? So the guy's like, okay, here's what you need to do. So we did pictures, and the pictures weren't right. And I'll show you exactly what you need to look for so you guys don't have to go through the nightmare that I just went with. Here, that's coming up here in a second. So they're like, okay, we scanned it. I found the tool. I'll also give the link to that tool. And they said, oh yeah, the second processor that you have is also counterfeit. If you send that to us, we will also confiscate that one as well. Went back to Company X to talk about what we're going to do here. Luckily, they settled everything. It's still very confusing as to what actually happened. No one seems to know. But as of today, the company offered me a refund, even though I passed the 30-day return period on their used goods. They're refunding me both the first purchase and the second purchase. And I went ahead and I bought my new CPU off of Amazon. And since I already have my boards here next to me, I should be able to put Big Bad Ultimate Death Star back together and back in working order. So, when you buy nowadays a modern day Intel processor, you'll get this fancy little box. Pretty cool. I mean, this is like a jewelry. They're pretty neat. Anyway, you open it up. Inside is even a fancier brown box. This looks like you're going for the Ark Indiana Jones plug-in. You pop this open. And inside here, I'm not grounded because this is trash. This will be a symbol of when things go wrong. You get this Intel processor. Here's what the modern day processors look like nowadays. There's no pins. All the pins are actually on the motherboard. Let's see if I can zoom in on this thing a little bit easier. Where's the camera at? Over here. It is. You can kind of read the writing there on the side. What I want to point out, and we'll go through this a little bit more detail. Down here, there's an R4 down here on the bottom. You can barely kind of see it. It's a tiny little code. Like I said, it's down here if you look at the stuff. And you have to get the app to actually read this code. Pretty much what it does is it takes the serial number and lot number over here and matches it to something else. So, here's where it got really interesting. The stuff didn't match. Before I was able to do the RMA, I actually had to put in the RMA number, and I had also put in the serial number and the lot number right from the box on the side here, as well as right from the processor. Everything matched, so I was able to submit it. It said I had a 3-year warranty on it. When they received it, no such thing. Here's a proper way to identify. I'm sorry, this thing is backwards. It's the only way I can really see my work. So, Intel logo, what it's supposed to be, the power of it, and then the M number here is on the bottom. Down here, you can see if you look at the processor, this is a better picture of what I just described. And right here in the corner, next to the R4 again, is this little code. use the application to scan this code, and what it has to do, it has to match that number. So what's physically etched into the lid must be matched by what's written actually on that little board. So here we go. Hello, Mr. Rack. Correct. The reason why it is not being recognized valid might be because originally this was an old product that is no longer in our database. What they did was to replace the top of the cover with a newer product to make it look valid. So the only thing that didn't make sense here, and this is still being investigated by Company X, is I was expecting like somebody would swap out the top. So the top of the deal is got an etched number. You can probably alter that somehow, but it would take a whole lot of work. What you can alter is the digital stamp on the actual thing, because it's like a QR code or like a UPC code. So the application reads it and it pulls from their database as to what it is. So what we were expecting is maybe a crappier processor for a higher price. Somebody switched the lid with the bottom. But like I said, it was not working. Here's another email. Thank you for your response. The one thing I didn't understand was the special code that it can't be falsified. How is it reading an invalid number? This scanning and reading from the database, so I would expect it maybe be a different or lower grade processor. Thank you for your time and patience while we look into this. After checking the result of your scan, which I submitted for the second processor, it does not match with the product that you have. In fact, this number does not represented by any valid product in our inventory. As you can see the picture, the CPU and information does not match either. Here's another picture of the processor, and again they're talking about this code down here on the bottom, right there where my finger is. And more emails, and like I said, I spent several months working on this, and I was really actually thinking that I would walk away with absolutely nothing, or possibly just get my $500. Another option, if you run across this, would be you could contact your credit card company and you could pull. But had I done that, I already passed the dates with the first CPU, so I'd be out $900. The maximum I would be able to collect is the $500, the discounted processor they sent earlier. So my suggestion is to work with the company, especially if you did nothing wrong like I did, and to see if they're nice and want to get this done. I also think that the Company X really didn't want the publicity of them selling counterfeit goods. That would actually hurt the company, even though PC stuff is not really their primary deal. But however, it is a valid company, and I do appreciate their work. I had to bug them quite a bit to get my money back, but that's kind of the story here. So now I'm waiting on Amazon to deliver the new chip, hopefully before the end of the month. Hopefully this chip is good. You can bet the first thing I'm going to do is download that application and make sure that it's working. So, as I promised, let me give you the name of this thing here. 1 second with me. There's also a built-in toolkit if the processor runs. My processor never ran, so that was a big problem that it never came up at all. Okay, here's the name. Intel Reverse Logistics Toolkit. It is both built in for the Apple and the Android market. All you do is, if you can't, you can either send a picture of the chip to Intel for them to check it, but that would take a bigger picture, and my email box did not want to send out that huge of a file. So I downloaded the app, scanned it, sent them the name of the file, and it took a little while, but I got my answer back. Guys, if you have any questions, let me know. This is not the most exciting topic that I've covered, but the thing that blew my mind is I've been building computers for since about before Windows 95, I had 3.1 and DOS 5.0. That's about how far back I go, and I have never gone through a nightmare like this. This will be a case on my mantle, and I'm hoping that the new processor will work, and together with my setup over here, including, not that sucker, that one's old, but my 2070 Supra graphics card, we can do some VR and get back on that train. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I really hope that this does not happen to you, because I was lucky and this was a nightmare. especially since the fact that I didn't have anything to test on. So don't let products sit. If you have to, get it tested on your friends if you have any, if they're willing to help you with that. Or talk to the company and say, hey, listen, I'm having problems. Also, like I said, avoid Newegg unless the product's shipped directly from Newegg. Otherwise, your product's had a good chance of being canceled. This happened twice, 3 times or 4 times with the same motherboard, and it just happened again when I tried ordering my Alienware just replacement speakers. Anyway, thanks for watching. Till next time, take care. Here's Rudy helping you do stuff and things.